your customer. Yeah.
There's no reason. But hey, if it helps you have a sales advantage, a marketing advantage, but okay, whatever.
And then what are they gonna do with your first one that can't do 1,000 miles because you had to actually get some of that space back from the fuel tank to give somebody some legroom?
So the Chinese EVs I was looking at, because even though I didn't get to get out as much, I was in a lot of taxis and they're all electric.
Yeah.
I was in a Hongqi, I was in a Trumpqi, I was in all kinds of stuff. And every time I would look up what I'm in and then Google it through a VPN. And like the first car I was in, it has a nice big sunroof. It's got endless leg room. It's got a 10.2 inch screen instead of 14, 15. But it was a $23,000 car. It was
nice.
Very comfortable. So how do you compete with that?
By blocking them from your country.
You can't beat them, ban them.
Yeah, though I saw a couple somebody's had reviewed the updated rule on Hong Kong Mini.
Yeah.
How was it? Looking like a Transformer roller skate to like a nice, cheap, small car.
When I saw it last year, my biggest takeaway is this is a real car. It's small, but it's nice. Yeah, they've gotten quite good.
Yeah. And so you did get a chance to see the Model Y L, and I assume it's on your channel.
It is. It went up this morning.
Oh, this morning. Okay, that's why I didn't push it to me because I was asleep. I will take a look. So what did you think of that Model Y L as an overview?
I really would have liked just another inch or two in the third row, but I can fit in the third row.
Okay.
And Rosh is like, well, I'll be over here getting B-roll. I'm like, no, you're getting in the car with me. We're going to do this, both of us together, because we're going to sit in every seat.
Oh. Okay.
And if you put the second row all the way back, you have a mile of legroom. And if you put it in a more reasonable position, the third row has a modicum of legroom.
Okay.
It's really nice, the feature where you just hit the buttons to fold the seats, because the seats will go to the position they need to be in order to fold flat. You could camp quite comfortably in it.
So it sounds like then just like the same way that the bioweapon defense mode was made for China, and then it was just cheaper to give to everybody. It sounds like the fold down seats were made for the Model Y L, and just got them the volume discount to put it on all of the non-standards.
I think it'd be more about the engineering of it that would make it standard. But yes, the other thing that the YL has is it's not Grok, but it's basically Grok. It has a feature that's very common in China, which is more than one microphone. So if you're sitting in the back seat, you can say, hey, Tesla, turn on my seat warmer, and it'll turn on your seat.
Wow. Because you knew where the sound came from.
Knows where you're sitting. Yeah, so there's a lot of features like that.
Wow.
And all the cars have features like that. I did try it in Xiaopeng's car. Did not go great.
Oh.
Did not go great. But it's not optimized for English. So, and the fun thing was
that was the next question. There was some of them don't accept any English. So someone accepts some English is just not good at it. Nice.
So the thing is, people are like, oh, because you went there, you're going to be soft on them now. Like, so we had a press conference after the product event, and I was invited to ask a question, and I did. And they called on me, and I said, hey, so I just had a chance to check out your VLA 2.0 this morning. Good stuff. And it's still a little rough around the edges. David Moss in the US just completed an 11,000-mile journey without touching the steering wheel. When are you going to do that?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. I am going to answer it. I'm going to answer it in Chinese. All of us are wearing little earpieces. The lady at the back of the room talking into what looks like a Roku remote, telling us, translating it. But I think that's a sufficiently hard question. And I messaged David afterwards. I said, he knew who you were. He'd seen the video.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun.
So they definitely wanted your input, and that's why they picked you, because they didn't want one of these rosy, flowery 10-second overviews.
I think it's also because everyone else they asked was at CES.
And that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
look at the porn bot. Let's look at this robot that can do your groceries, not your groceries, your laundry 8 times slower than it needs to.
Let's look at Boston Dynamics do a backflip and
break his heel.
Off. Was it heel? I was still very impressed. Just haven't needed to do that, but that was good. There was but what was crazy is after it ended, lady came over to me. She goes, "You drove it this morning." I go, "Yeah." She goes, "I'm the head of the product.
Nice.
I'm the manager." And I had, and she asked me, asking me pointed, specific questions.
Yeah.
And then the next day, at the second half of the event, which is our 100,000th P7 is coming off the line.
Yeah.
P7 Plus is rolling off the line. The CEO is here again, and he's doing a big speech. And my PR rep is like, "Oh, Brian, you have to get a selfie with him."
Nice.
So she drags me over, and he goes, "So you drove it?" And I have some questions. So for like 2 minutes,
the CEO didn't have
Yeah.
to drive it. Wow.
Oh no, he's driven it. It's
But
he
he
has
wanted
that
to see
on his
you.
phone. He wanted to
Okay.
talk to me about
Yeah.
what I thought of it because he's been to California twice. He's driven 13 and 14,
Okay.
and he wanted to. And he's like, "I hope you come back when we release it." Because
Nice.
yeah,
They gotta make some changes.
and the thing is, there's like 200 people there.
Yeah.
So, and all of them have cameras. So I'm like, I'm going to pose in every second of this interaction.
Yeah.
And sure enough, one of the other people's like, "Oh, here's a pictures of you having the conversation." I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Lee,
And,
happy Sunday. Go ahead.
Oh, last thing on that is I have this little game I play with my kids where I say things that sound ridiculous, that
Yeah.
can't possibly be true. And then I have them look it up and find out what the real answer is because it's hilarious. When you see this big metal thing at a museum, I'm like, what is that? Like a steam donkey? They go up and look at the plaque. It's a steam donkey. It is. So what I said is I was talking to the CEO of the company, Mr. Xiaopeng, I guess.
Yes. Okay.
His noun is he. And my son's like, "You mean his pronoun?" I go, "No.
His noun is he.
His name is He Xiaopeng."
Oh, I got you.
It's spelled different than the company name. They simplified it for international
Like
market.
Toyota.
Yeah. Mr. Toyota. Yeah, that's his name. So it's kind of awesome.
So that was awesome that they didn't even tell the lead engineer that you were going to be coming and driving the product.
No, she knew. She just didn't know who it was until I
Okay.
said
That was
thing.
you who did this.
It was
Let
you.
me talk to you for a second.
Yeah, let me tell you that.
Your brain.
Because you got to talk to the engineers, and having spent probably a total of 4 hours with the product manager for this exact product at dinner, and then in the car, I got to ask everything. I got to ask everything. So yeah. How are you doing, man?
Marcus?
I'm good. Hey, I'm good. I can't complain. I'm out here. I can't complain. Won't do no good if I did, But I'm doing good. I can't complain. Complain at all. Just trying to make it happen.
I'm good at it.
You're good at it. So you guys will see the theme that I was talking about earlier when I share this letter that Marcus got a hold of. Mm-hmm. And then you'll see I started with the electrician before I brought this up a little bit for Marcus.
Okay.
All right. So I'll show this on the screen. And so
I love that. I saw that. That was hilarious.
Yes. So this is from Orlando Speed World. Yeah. Look at the date. This wasn't like when the Volt was new.
Nope. Oh, well, the Volt is still allowed.
Yeah, that too.
It's a hybrid. Okay, yeah, you read it.
Yeah, it's more likely. Okay, so let's get on my narrator voice. Regarding electric vehicles, January 8th, 2026. After careful consideration and research, Orlando Speedway Dragway has decided that we can no longer allow fully electric vehicles to race at our facility. We have been reviewing the emergency response procedures for specific vehicles. Which ones? And after information provided from these departments, we have determined that the risk associated with racing and testing electric vehicles are too high. You guys do testing? Anyway.
You guys are high.
Right.
These risks include. No. These risks include. There's no S in it. No risks. These risks include the battery may release toxic and flammable gas after collision. Everything on your platform, everything on your property may do that, right? Continuing, first responders may not be able to confirm that the car is off.
I don't. I mean, what does that mean? The motor's not running. You can tell because it's not spinning, but
Right.
the gas car that crashed is still on.
Right. The engine might not be spinning, but it could still have 12 or 48 volts running through it.
Well, just to, cabal that they do probably do have a kill switch, a pull. Usually it's typically on the outside, but
not the stock ones.
Correct.
Yeah. Doors may not unlock from the outside after a collision. That's again every car, and I know they're aiming at Model S and Model 3 and such like that. But since 2012, they ran into this consideration on the Model S that if it determines you're incapacitated or if the airbags have gone off after it's done moving, it opens the doors. And when I say opens the doors, it pops the door handles out, so they're unlocked. You can deal with it if they're not pinched. Anyway, continuing on this reading, if the driver is unconscious after the incident, including a medical incident, there's a chance that the chassis is live, and removing the driver would put the responder at risk.
Is that true? I've never heard of that.
Never, yeah.
I've never heard of the high voltage system
Going through the outside of the car.
The chassis.
If the chassis goes live, the system shuts down, even on the home builds.
I want to pause for a second. I want to say this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good to the people that don't want to be properly educated or want to hear the truth about it. You see what I'm saying? It sounds good for people that just assume.
Well, if they don't know anything, this sounds reasonable.
Exactly.
But, so any of us know anything about this, it sounds like a bunch of lies. So
it's in writing. It must be true.
It's in all caps.
They did research.
The car may not roll with the power disconnected, and towing the car with the current equipment would be impossible. If you've wrecked a regular car, left it in sixth, the wheels aren't going to roll there either. But let's continue on. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting their spiel. Electric vehicles require specific fire suppression systems, such as water baths.
That is true. It is harder to put out a fire should it start.
But the water bath is a European requirement in only one town.
Come
You
on.
can pick the car up and dunk it in a container full of water. They have the tow trucks for that. All the tow trucks in that city are the crane types. So they just, instead of doing it gently, they just grab you through the roof and dunk it for a day or two. This will take effect immediately and will only apply to full electric vehicles at all events, including tested tunes and Orlando Speed World Dragway. Hybrid vehicles will continue to be allowed. So the vehicle with both flammable powertrains is allowed, but the one we're not fine. The liquid bombs, they're fine.
So I would love to quiz you, gentlemen. Hybrids are still allowed. Remind me, between hybrid or gas or electric, which is the most likely to go in the hybrid? Yeah, by like a factor of 20.
At least 20, yeah.
Yeah, could you pull it back up again?
Yeah.
And scroll to the top, because the quiz ain't over. So far, you guys got a perfect score, but let's see here. Hey, gas cars, they don't release toxic, flammable stuff, do they?
All the time. Even when they're sitting still and off. Like a gas stove.
Yeah. But certainly there's nothing flammable in a combustion vehicle.
Oh, it's internal combustion.
It's supposed to be internal. I feel like that might be a problem.
Right.
Hey, you want to pause right there as well, right? Because you want to put this out there for the ones that don't know on the other end. That's not including your cars with your high power additives, like your nitrous cars, your cars that run on methane,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You got to take in consideration all that too now. But let's just keep going, high risk stuff out there now. Higher than
But
it.
there's a concern about safety that you can run your flip flops and t-shirt in a 3-second car.
Well, I'm gonna be transparent now. At a proper, like, you'll only see smoke at a legit
you,
track.
I'm saying like
Professional.
these people.
Now, yeah, I have seen some backyard tracks. They do that, which I found that mind blowing.
This track, they've got video of a guy doing in a 3-second car.
Okay.
In his t-shirt, not his fire suit.
Well, it's probably a fire t-shirt.
I never heard of such thing.
It's his tactical tank top. Yeah. And so with our current equipment, towing a car that is not, it would be impossible. What is your current equipment? I mean, this is,
you have dollies.
My question to both of you is, does the fact that they could not move a car that had wheels still in the drive position, does that pass the sniff test?
No. Because if you run into a wall in a gas car, the engine is seized.
They have to have a way to move it.
Yeah.
I've never seen a raceway that didn't have a tractor.
Right. Yeah.
Or something.
Most of them use the tractor. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Or a loader.
Or dollies. Or you have dollies where you can lift it and put it on there.
Most of them do, yeah. No.
Free rolling dollies.
Yeah.
But
and you've got if they're gonna claim weight, remember that the BMW M3 weighs more than the Model 3 Performance.
I forgot about that.
It's true.
So go ahead and scroll down. Let's make sure I'm not missing anything on the quiz before I give you your scores. Okay. I just love that your Prius is still permitted.
Right.
Because we know we're not going to get embarrassed by it. When I was at, so that's enough of the quiz. When I was in Tampa, we were at a real janky little speedway, Clearwater Showtime is what it was called.
Yeah.
And it was janky. And the guy came out in his tuned Escalade. He's like, guys, you don't know what you're in. I'll race anyone here. And the guy was like, oh, I feel bad, but let's line him up against the Cyber Beast. And it didn't go well. Let's just say it was a little embarrassing. And all of us were like, oh, buddy, you did your best. And it's, the Escalade is a very comfortable, very nice vehicle, but you're competing against a different thing.
Yeah.
It's like a propeller engine versus a jet. I don't want to compete against a jet. It's a different technology. Yeah. Let's ban them.
I'm looking for this.
Well, so let me speak on some of this right quick because this is what I do and what I already know what the obvious is. But I want to go back to one thing KC has stated. And see, this is why I tell my people, I don't know a lot. I don't know everything, but I do know a lot. I do know enough. If I don't know, I know the right people that do. For one, KC just highlighted some stuff that I forgot to mention in my YouTube video that I did on this, because I did speak about the plan. He just said, I forgot about that 2012. They did go back to the drawing board and redesign some safety mechanism when it could pertain to something like that in the event that happened with the door handles. I forgot about that. But also, too, I mentioned in my YouTube, like, for example, of my Plaid. That car got so many safety features pertaining to when it comes to an event, something like this, that my fab guy, we found out that the hard way. It's on my YouTube. I talk more in depth about it. But for example, my car was modified at full-blown race car. When I say seats, sensors, everything. But they learned the hard way. For example, he didn't know this. He dealt with some resistance for my seats. Because, you have to trick the seat, different things.
Yeah.
So they disconnect the battery, some wiring and things. When they were hooking the car back up to test the sensors out, they left one of the, for example, I forgot what one of the sensors is called a geo sensor. They left it hanging. Long story short, soon they hooked the car back up, the airbags deployed immediately. When it was that car thought it was on his side, and he was like, "Wow," because he know this, but it was a new experience learning on the Plaid and going forward to the new vehicle. It's so much safe, huh?
Still in your Plaid?
Yeah, my Plaid. Yeah. I got a video. I just ain't put it out there yet. Yeah, what's that? Yeah, but see,
I didn't know you were able. Wow.
Yeah. It was a lesson learned. It was a lesson learned because that was something new with the Plaid. They was just, my car was, first one that was doing what it's doing to the, the level that it is at now for safety and so on. But he learned that. He was like, wow. And there's some other things, of course, like they don't talk about, like the pyro fuse. Man, that car can take a nice impact. It's gonna pop that pyro fuse pretty much. And when that pyro fuse pop, that's gonna pretty much kill that power to that 12-volt battery as far as people getting shot, like they said on that bullet point and things like that, you know. But I went more in depth to talk about it on my thing. But
and everybody's got a fuse like that. It might not be pyrotechnic, but it works the same way.
Correct.
Like if there's a leak to the chassis, or if you're in a collision,
but
they don't work anymore.
Exactly. But going forward, though, as technology, as they see what working with, they need to redo some things. Like you stated in 2012 and so on. That is so true. But like I said, that Plaid has so many other safety things. Only thing about certain things, I can't talk about it. I didn't put it out there because I'm a grudge racing car. I didn't want people to know how depth my car went into depth to get done to where it, running now and whatever because of certain things.
Brian had mentioned,
and then NDAs, I got certain things on NDAs you can't speak about it. Look at Casey.
About 2004 Prius.
So
nope, that's not you.
But you see what I'm saying though. But I'm glad KC brought that up because I forgot about that.
Well,
it's.
Hey, he's in the house. It's crazy that I didn't realize that that they would put the gyro sensor with the seat sensor, but
no. That one particular with it, but it all has something to do with.
Oh,
see, I can't say too much about because I don't want to talk too much about my car because it's a secret grudge racing car, no time car.
Sure.
I don't show time whatever, but my car's a one-on-one because I have some special stuff done. It is a special car now. That is a special boy. I'm gonna say that, but. I'm just kind of giving because that was just a lesson learned that they learned that because it wasn't like your average P100. Like for example, your P100, it was just something new that Tesla started doing that he figured it out. Like wow, it cost him money because he had to get the airbags replaced. Of course, he get the car, make sure you get it clear, make sure it wasn't no accident because make sure you get because the record stated at the time through the ECMU that the airbag was deployed, but we had to clarify that it wasn't due to no accident, etc. But it's safety there. The safety's there. That's all I'm saying. And that's why when I saw this, I felt like this is some straight up BS. And I'm gonna go on a limb and say why I really because I'm there. A lot of these petrol heads, some of them, not all, because a lot of people respect when my car run and do. They respect it. Like that's nice. But you got some guys, they do not love EV, but then also they feel butthurt if they get beat by those cars. And they see what those cars can do. They only know it's gonna get better. So to keep their this is why I feel to keep their gas guys happier. This was someone will try to come and play. Hopefully, it'll trickle down to different places, which is not going to
right. That's probably
interestingly something I recently found out is that my son's Model 3 doesn't have seat weight sensors because they've replaced it with in-cabin radar. If it's luggage versus person, and not be constantly telling you to please buckle up your backpack. Which is obnoxious. By the way, my seat right here that I'm in, airbags have been disabled. Apparently, when Tim was doing some tests, he's like, "I wonder if these are still live," and he's poking it with the 16 volt, and he went ahead and set one off in his garage, which is great if you have a change of pants handy. So. That's exciting and fun. The safety is really incredible.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is the same Prius as the drag strip. I like these cars. They're what do you call a lady in the streets, but a freak in the other situations. So this one's pulling 70 miles per gallon, but also embarrassed that little Fox body. Or not Fox body, that little one after the Fox body, that white Mustang you saw me in the picture with.
Have either of you driven Chevy Bolt?
Bolt, no.
They're real punchy. They're real punchy. My assessment of it, having driven one at an event, was it feels like a real punchy rental car in Europe because it was very small but fun.
Yeah.
When you say
the reality is,
when you say punchy, you mean like it jerks you a little bit. Is that what you're saying? Okay, like don't you say?
Well, I mean, it's got good torque.
Yes,
it's got remarkable torque, and having driven a couple of gas cars in the last few years, you just go, this is sluggish and unresponsive.
Yeah,
and then you're coasting down the mountain pass, and you're thinking, just wasting gas. I'm using extra gas to keep the car slower.
Yeah, like Brianna Wu, she likes to drive, old Porsches and stuff, and people are like, why don't you like the new cars? They have more horsepower than the other. And we already know she doesn't like electric because it's not her style of racing. So electrics are better at American style straight line performance, and she likes the European twisties. And then she said that with the older cars, the way that you drive them, with the the power to weight and the way they respond, and as you're turning them, and how heavy they actually are, you can have more fun with them in places where it's legal to do than you can with the new stuff where you have to keep out of them all the time. So it's or they can't handle the turning as much. So it's
When it comes to a professional, I know better than to question their taste.
yes.
Yeah, I mean they know what especially they know what they like.
Mhm.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm gonna say this. Like that's a good point. Like I say, I only speak from what I like. I like drag racing, straight track, or what. But now, for example, you can get with it's somewhere on Unplugged. But anyway, one of my guys, they do course racing in there. They do track, the thing, and he said it handles much better than with some upgrades, of course, some modifications.
Oh, yeah.
It handles much better than a typical ice car that he's usually used to using in the past. But once again, everybody got their preference. You gotta see the way I see things are. People are always quick to judge things before they not even test it out. For example, like the yoke. I remember when the yoke was first introduced on the plaids. That's how you heard people like, "Oh, that's stupid." But they ain't never touched it. Never even. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of questioned it myself. I was like, "Wow, I wonder how it's going." But then when I first, drove one, I got my car and I'm like, "This is the way." I put one in my 2013. I said, "This is the way," because I just love it. Because we used to drive it like this, that ain't. I love it. So it just is how people are.
Yeah. I'll never get over the removal of the stock. And I said, well, first of all, it may come back if enough people agree with you, and it has come back. But it took me 30 seconds to get used to it. Okay, maybe 3 or 4 minutes to get used to it.
Okay.
And it's fine. My teenager has never driven a car that has a blinker stock.
Oh,
Which is okay. That's weird.
Yeah,
But he's driven so much of the miles he's driven on FSD that I don't know how many times he's even used a blinker. Not very many.
What would you use a blinker for besides emergency?
Yeah.
I'm
that's my favorite track. So this is me behind the red one.
Uh-huh.
The 90D and a P100D.
I know.
You guys might recognize this track too.
I don't.
It's a little track in North Carolina. One of our friends named Kyle.
Is that where his
full control of the
facility is?
Yeah.
Well, no, he doesn't have full control. He's just one of the many tenants that has property.
Practically full control over this thing now.
Well, over the track, because the other tenants are probably not using it. But he only uses it probably a few hours a week. If they're out there using it a few hours a week, you'd never see them.
Never.
But it's like an industrial park. It was supposed to be a big thing. It is a big thing, but it's a huge financial failure because bad timing with COVID and all that.
I think COVID knocked it out.
Yeah, they were just in the process of getting it done. They built parts of the track, but it was supposed to be a much more expansive testing track, and it just
because it's a little tame for what they wanted to do.
Because I looked up the property and read the the whole everything I could find about it because I thought it was fascinating. But no, Kyle only has one part of one building.
Yeah,
but it's basically
the track.
It's basically an HOA, so he's got access to the track.
Nice. Yeah.
So I will be ducking out here in a couple minutes, giving you gentlemen back to your show. Any other questions about China before I go?
Yeah. So how did they take your inputs? Like, did they give you input on your input?
Yeah, they understood. They appreciated it. They know what they're up against. Mm-hmm. One thing that they shared with me that I thought was very true and accurate is right now there is nowhere on earth where you can get a fair comparison between Tesla's FSD and anything that's Chinese, because what's running in China is not the same as here. It's not the same as here, and it's not really trained on China. Yeah. So what you're seeing is a softer version of it. Videos of China and a base level understanding of driving. And I said, well, couldn't you just take your car to the US? You can do that. You have offices there. They go, yeah, but it's not trained on US roads. I'm like, that's true. That's true. Yeah. So until the training is sufficiently
firewall
robust.
makes that hard to do. Because if you
Yeah.
get your car trained on video in China, how are you going to merge the China video training with the actual Chinese data
Well,
collection?
Yeah, you have to just gather it afresh on both sides of that market,
Yeah.
of that wall, I guess. So yeah, and what I asked him was, how many manufacturers are not working on FSD in China? And he's like, none come to mind that are not working on it. All of them. I go, what about Wu Ling? He goes, okay, yeah, not them. They're not working on it.
Right. So if they were the
and a lot-
budget of the budget, or if they're making scooters.
Yes, but a lot
Actually,
of
the
them
scooters
are.
probably got it too.
I don't know.
Maybe not actively.
Not actively, but the big thing is a number of manufacturers are partnered with other manufacturers. Huawei is already in 2 or 3 other brands. I don't think BYD is, but BYD controls so much of the market with their 3 brands.
So similar to how we keep saying that eventually somebody will license FSD once they get good enough. They already
They're already doing that. There's so much more cooperation between the brands than we see here.
I can
And
imagine
it's
that.
crazy.
I can imagine that.
With the exception of BYD, who's like the 500-pound gorilla that won't play nice with anyone, including suppliers. You think Tesla's vertically integrated? Apparently, BYD only partners with glass and tires.
Wow.
They make their own brake pads.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. So when you need, because they're like, oh, this Yang Wang U9 is too fast. We need new carbon fiber brakes that don't exist. Well, guess we better continue making them. Highlander wants to know if I have a sponsor. Xiaopeng paid for my airfare and hotel, and the hotel included breakfast buffet and lunch. So, and the hotel was so nice, like $100 a night for a 5-star hotel. Wow. It's like, this is Motel 6 pricing places I go.
Right.
And it was like, when I checked in, I said, I can't find my USB cable. Do you know where I could get one? And they're like, which kind? And I'm like, C. They're like, we'll have someone bring one up.
Wow.
And they brought it up, and it's got, a little inventory tag on it so that they get it back. I'm like, oh, so nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. If you look lost in the lobby, they're like, can I help you find something? Everything all right? Oh, so nice.
Like you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. We disclose this, and yeah, it may have some minor effect on the way we talk about stuff, but probably not. But you can tell by the fact that you know that we got this consideration, and we disclose it to you, and you can decide what that means to you.
Yeah.
Versus
and the fact that I sat in the front row of the press conference and said, how long until you catch up with Tesla? I think should dispel any rumor that they're getting a softer treatment from me. People will still say it, but the reality is I just would not have been able to go. I don't have that kind of money. So
what you with?
But even the way they responded to that question was like, I told you it wasn't scripted, it wasn't softball. They were struck by it.
Well, and actually his response was if you're talking going east to west, it might take us 5 or 6 years to get there.
Oh,
with no interventions. And I was like, that's brutally honest.
Yeah.
That's brutally honest. I don't even believe that. I think you'll get there quicker than that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a little better than 2 weeks.
Yeah, it'll be 2 weeks. We can do it by Christmas. We're gonna do it hands free, coast to coast.
End of next year for sure. I feel like
This time, definitely.
Let me make sure this. If you had to guesstimate if you was out of the pocket cost for a trip like that, how much you think you probably would have been out of?
So because it was a last minute trip, definitely more. If I were to do a trip like that, the ticket I would get, I wouldn't pay more than probably $1,100 or $1,200, and the hotel, I wouldn't have stayed somewhere like that. I would probably pay $35 a night. And I know because I went to Shanghai last year, and that's what I did.
Okay.
I stayed at the Fish Inn in Shanghai. Yeah, but they don't want me doing that. They want me in the same hotel as the other journalists so we can talk amongst each other so that the bus can pick us up from the same place. So I would spend including everything on the ground for a trip like that, probably 2,000-3,000.
Okay.
Yeah, is what I would pay. Yeah,
And
if
if
it-
it
if it was-
was a couple hundred because they have their connections already. They probably had it on standby.
they probably have a group. They have a group rate for sure.
Oh, yeah.
They did overpay for the airfare because it was last minute,
Mhm.
but
But they probably
Yeah.
still got a corporate thing there, like, hey, we have so many last minute tickets per year. If we don't use them, we waste them.
that's entirely possible. I beyond my expertise.
Yeah.
So Casey, if you come up with questions, if you need me, let me know.
Yes.
Yeah,
We'll
good
be
to
back.
see you both.
You
Alright.
too. Get some rest.
Take care, guys.
Hey, do me a favor. Do me a favor if you don't mind. Check out my channel. In the last video I did on it, I kind of share some things about certain safety that people just misled about, or just because I know,
Absolutely,
I know the people.
absolutely.
Some of the people there.
Well, and I might like to have a conversation with you where it's not recorded, because I'd love
Yeah.
to hear some of the modifications that you're not willing to share publicly. Because I did want to mention that Ryan Torres, who's like he's now head of customer experience or something at
Oh,
Tesla,
yes.
but he's basically the North American product guy, bought a Model 3 Performance that had been tweaked by Unplugged Performance with a good 70,000 of upgrades. And if someone who works there and knows the cars inside out thinks, I know we can squeeze more out of it, it can be. He wouldn't buy it if it was a waste of money.
Yeah.
So I'll be very curious to have that conversation when we can.
Sure.
Definitely.
Let's reach out. Casey,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. So I was looking up to see if there was any fresh news on the F-150 Lightning, because Timothy had asked about the yo-yo-ness of it. So one of the things I brought up on this whole drag strip thing was the race insurance. You got it. I had it. So who do they think they are that they can outsmart an insurance company
What's
and
that?
blame it on them?
Right.
I said, so yeah, who do they think they are that they can outsmart a insurance company and then blame it on insurance?
Man, this, like I say, man, you just gotta. Once again, if people that don't, it sounds good when people blur out things. It sounds good for the ones that don't know better or open to
Mhm.
understand. That, like I tell people, that's why you got people like you and I that we know what's what, we like what we like, but we put the debunk false information or misleading information out there. I'm all right for the truth. Don't get me wrong, but when you just saying stuff, makes sense.
Right.
I mean, like you say, insurance, man. Come on, man. This is one of the safest cars out there, man.
Right.
On a train.
Yeah. If it was what they said it was, I would have never got that race insurance. They would have been like, nah,
Exactly.
we can't.
Casey, I'm just curious. If you don't mind, I meant to message you. I've been watching some of the shows. I wasn't able to come on. I was busy or something.
Yeah.
What's up with the glasses? It's just something going on.
Oh, these glasses are my screen. I can see everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can make them dark, or I can make them clear. They don't seem to have much of a range. At the range that this camera is at.
Okay.
And I was having the situation where I had the small teleprompter you saw. I could never actually use it for what it was made for.
Mhm.
The big teleprompter took up too much room on my desk.
Okay.
And this one is just glasses. I already wear glasses, so I got them put my prescriptions inside,
Yeah.
and then so I can
Leave it with Casey.
see what I'm reading and
Leave it with Casey, man.
and make eye contact.
Hey, it makes sense, man. It makes sense.
Now it's just the camera. It's not like a giant shelf for an iPad and a big old mirror.
Yeah.
Or I have the looking off to the side of a regular screen.
Yeah.
Because the camera was kind of bulky. I couldn't perch it on top of the laptop, and I couldn't get it in the right space on the big screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leave it up to KC, man. What's up? I know he got it all for a reason, and the reason is what she said, laughing out loud.
Thanks, Lee. Thanks. Yeah. So the ones I was supposed to have were supposed to be thinner, clearer, and lighter, but it's looking like that company might go out of business before they actually get the products to people. So I asked them for a refund, and these ones were less expensive. They've got some coming out this year as developer models that are that have more screen in them at the same resolution and should be more responsive. And then next year they should have you seen the Google the Samsung Gear and then the Apple Vision Pro. They should be like them in capabilities, but in this form factor, a little thinner, a little lighter.
So you seeing your show through the glasses?
Yeah.
Like the metal display. Oh my God, I need to give it to you on that, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
You won't see anything because it knows where I'm looking, and that's behind.
Okay.
I told it to place the screen behind
Man, we'll
the camera.
talk. Okay, we'll talk.
Yeah. Actually, I wonder. Let me set it in the free mode.
Man.
There we go. And so now you can see my screen.
Oh my God. Bro, I'm about to get with you, Casey, man. You know, I'm looking at the metal display. I may save away from that.
Oh yeah. All right, let me get it back on.
Leave it up to Casey, man.
So what I do is I pin the screen on top of the camera lens. Looking for the light. Okay, good. It's locked, and I went into the menu as well. So
Wow.
And so you can have right now it's at 137 inches, and you can go up to 222 inches for this resolution. That's actually even nicer. I usually have it at 137 so I can see the whole screen without moving my head. But
so you doing your show, you doing your bullet points and so on from your glasses?
Yeah, yeah, and then I can see the videos. I can see you guys and make eye contact with it. I'm doing 137 for now, and then I might change it later.
Yeah. So Ray-Ban displays ain't got nothing on that then.
Nothing like this. All right, I forgot how to exit the menu.
Sorry I took you off topic there, man.
No, it's all right. Oh, I did it. I view, follow, no follow, lock. Okay, good. It's locked on top of the camera. A little sideways now, though. But so it's got a camera in here. That's the camera is an optional extra, and that just helps anchor everything in place even further. But the next year's model, they have two cameras here, so they can do the augmented reality stuff.
So let me ask you this: can you get them in like other than shades, or they have clearers too, or no? I'm just
well, this is as clear as this model gets. The model that just came out with Asus gets a little bit clearer.
Okay.
But you can see here, I can crank it all the way black.
Oh yeah. I see. Okay.
Yeah. And so I'm hoping that an update, because it says it's at about 30%. I'm hoping there's an option where you can just turn it off, and then they'll just. But some stuff that you want to display, it doesn't matter that you can see through it.
Right,
and I'm hoping that they give us that option.
I like that. I like technology. I like that. So
yeah.
I'm about to get rid of my Ray-Bans, maybe change up.
Right.
My Ray-Bans matters.
But the Ray-Bans, I think they can take pictures and short videos, right?
Yeah, 3 minutes. Yeah.
3 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this one does do that too. With this accessory, you can take photos and short HD videos. But the regular ones don't do it.
I want to, baby. I hope they change it where you can change it from to, sometimes you want to do some of your videos that way because.
Yeah, mine does standard.
Okay. So because that's good for
But I took the shortcut for take a picture. I took the shortcut for take a picture and did it change the screen some more.
I'm about to get with you, man. Yeah, send me the information on that.
Okay. Let's do. I'm gonna change.
Yeah, Casey very knowledgeable. That's why I'm blessed to know him because he knows some stuff.
Thank you. So the war on electronic door handles just came into the U.S. So this one I picked because it lines up with what those people were claiming. China has had a problem with this, and it's not just Tesla. It's just that here in the U.S. they are synonymous with Tesla because they were the first ones to do it here. But in China, everybody's got flush door handles, and the problem is that some of them don't have the same as the other, like Tesla, where when you get into a crash, it unlocks the doors. And so this was a problem for them. And let's see what they have to say in this article about it. So, a bill has been introduced into Congress to regulate pop-out and electronic door handles on new cars. I'm curious if they just copied the China one or if they have their own. It would probably be best if they copied the China one, that the manufacturers only have to meet one standard. A U.S. Congresswoman has proposed a bill that would regulate complex door handles on cars. The bill would require door handles to be easy and intuitive to open in an emergency. This would affect automakers like Tesla, Rivian, and more that have added electronically actuated doors in new vehicles. Tesla, GM, Rivian, everybody's got door handles like this now, and some are worse than others. Human interface controls are just supposed to be simple and easy to understand. Whether it's a software interface or something as critical as a door handle, it should be extremely clear how to work the controls, in my opinion. At least it turns out that automakers feel this way too. So people point out simple, this, that, and the other. I also want to point out that if you remember the 98 to 2000 change Camry, where door handles just randomly would break off.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
So going simple isn't necessarily the answer either. You just need to have a standard on like I said earlier, with all the manufactured doors work the same way, front and rear, and maybe break it up by truck versus SUV versus car, but probably don't do that if you can help it. And then whatever minimum standard you want for your EMTs and firefighters. And well, I was going to say the police, but we had an incident at the beginning of this week where somebody was pulling on a door handle, and if they couldn't pull on the door handle, maybe somebody would still be alive. This week, Congressman Robin Kelly of Illinois introduced securing functional. I hate when they make these cutesy acronyms. They wanted to spell SAFE, the Safe Exit Act. Kelly's bill, which is backed by Consumer Reports, takes aim at electronic door handles in response to concerns that the handles can delay or block access to escape during emergencies. That act calls out Tesla by name, following a string of deaths that were publicly attributed to the automaker's door handle design. The one that still makes me mad the most is the one where the old man crashed into a bed of rocks, boulders, if you will. Like they were all this big or smaller, and the cop let the old man burn to death because he didn't have his window smasher tool. I'm like, the man is surrounded by window smasher tools.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's get to the meat. The bill would require automakers to ensure that vehicle door handles can be opened quickly and intuitively in the event of an emergency. And so I'm not yet upset about this because you can still have cool, fancy flush door handles, unless it says no flush door handles, that comply with this, where, you know, maybe if you lose power, they pop out, or like the internal original Model S door handles, the first couple degrees of travel was electric. And if the power was gone or you were panicking or anything happened like that, you pulled further, harder, it would open the mechanical exits for you. Similar to the way that on the current Teslas, the front doors have electric button and then a separate lever. The lever was on the same mechanism you already used, and if you just kept going, it would activate the lever. So they can do that with a button. You can have the button is the first little bit of like a soft push, and if you smash the button, oh, let me out, then it rips the cable and opens the door mechanically. So just do that to the outside of the car too, and then of course you'd have to make your locks actually really good. Right now, the Tesla locks are really good for free because there is no connection to the outside unless the computer deems it so, or if you're opening panels and pulling emergency pulls. You shouldn't have to pull the emergency pulls in a crash. Mostly you would use those if the battery died and the key can't be detected and this, that, and the other. But something like that, where if the car is unlocked, they can reach those pulls would be fine without tearing the car apart. So let's see what else it says here. So the door handles can be opened quickly and intuitively. It doesn't give specifics on what will be required by the FMVSS, Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards, if the bill passes. However, it would direct the U.S. Secretary of Transportation to come up with the requirements and automakers to comply within 2 years of the rule being finalized. I don't like that. It should be done by actual experts, not the guy who starred in the real world, or Road Rules, or whatever that reality show he was in. He's not an expert. He wants to charge $500 extra on top of whatever your state charges for every EV per year. Screw that guy. And not allegedly, he said it himself. The bill does mandate that the handles be made more conspicuous. The only one I've seen that doesn't have conspicuous door handles is the Cybertruck. It's because it doesn't have any. Like even like the Corvette and the Kias and stuff, where they have like the hand scoop.
Right.
Like if you look around, as the hand scoop. I guess like the Toyota and the Honda, where they hide it in the black trim on the back, it's not as conspicuous. But unless you're looking at a car in the dark with no light, those you can still tell what door handles are too. But even the Mustang Mach-E, like I said, everybody's got this. Not just the Corvette, not just Teslas. Like the Mustang Mach-E, it's got these. Justification of Kelly's bill pointed squarely at Tesla and its CEO. You really got to avoid doing that when you make a law. It should be for the good of the people and not for friggin' points. I mean, he's not everybody's cup of tea. I mean, but there are legitimate concerns with this without scoring points. Justification of Kelly's bill pointed squarely at Tesla and its CEO from Kelly's website announcing the bill. Profits and least of all style should not come before people's lives. See, the problem with this is their justification for doing flush door handles is fuel economy and aerodynamics. So while some of the others are doing it for style, that was never their stated reason for it. They call out Musk and his designs are not safe. Franz would probably have some words about that. Nor efficient. And then we saw with the Chinese, when the Chinese were coming up with their law against this, they didn't say that it was not efficient. They just said that it wasn't efficient enough to justify the risks in the other Chinese cars that failed miserably. That were enough that they would call out. They didn't call out by name either, but they had Tesla. They had all of their own internal companies that were doing this. Not everybody was doing them to the same level of robustness, and their reason for making the laws, they wanted to save their citizens and their guests, and so they felt the best way was to. They actually have standards and prescriptions. I haven't read it because I don't read Mandarin, but I'll wait till it gets a little clearer. They've already started for anything that's made after a certain date. They had to already be at a certain level, and then they had to do a full redesign before the next fresh paper models. So we'll see what they do, and I imagine it'll be just fine. And I'm curious when they say not flush. Does that just mean that you can't? They might have like a pinky. Hopefully not my pinkies, because mine are kind of small. I have decent sized hands, but my fingers are electronics friendly. I'm thinking somebody with like a big sausage fingers, like a big burly, like a bouncer. Maybe make sure that their pinky can get in there if they do a pinky door handle cheat. to the skirt and the letter of the law. Let's see. Crashes or power loss leave drivers and passengers trapped inside their own cars. That's not innovation. It's a safety failure. And I'm not defending Tesla here, because you see me rail on the original Model 3 all the time, how that thing had no rear exit if the power went out. Unless you ahead of time cut a hole in your door map pockets and put in a safety bolt. It should not have taken Brian from I1 to invent and basically give away, sell it at cost a kit to let you out of the rear of your Model 3. Yes, you can climb over the seat. Not everybody has the flexibility to do so.
Right, especially in the event of something tragic
probably happening. Like those drunk kids in the Cybertruck. You're doing 90 in a town where the top speed limit is 30, and then smash into a wall. You can't only blame the truck, but if the doors are pinched and you can't get out the back, or you're too drunk to work the doors, the Cybertruck does have the proper pull the panel, pull the thing. But why cannot you have the same thing? And yes, there is the child safety situation, so that's why, like on Marcus's car in the rear, you've got a pull tab that's not blatantly obvious. It's like you run your hand along the trim of where the seat meets the floor, and then you'll find two pull tabs. You pull them, and the doors pop open. I think that's good. And the door pockets aren't bad, but I want an adult to be able to work them without leaving the seat and without, I don't know, like I get the child safety latches because one of mine is now wants to do the door herself, and my doors come up, and I don't like this into traffic. So I understand. And she's still also small enough that she doesn't necessarily have full situational awareness. Hey, the door opened, I'm out. Versus, hey, let me make sure I don't get doored. Doored being, if you're on a bike and you're running next to the cars and somebody swings open the door, and it's a bad day for everybody, or worse. But now you're less than 4 feet tall. You're not looking where you're going. Your bird wing doors is opened up into a truck, and you've jumped out in front of it. So thankfully that hasn't happened yet. But
hey, on mine, I'm gonna say right now, I just thought about it, but on mine, it's like on my race car mainly. I got mine for the back. I showed that in my video I did.
You're
got
a little bit
more
loose. They were
exposed.
taped up on the side.
Yeah, I got mine exposed just in case Lord prevent something happening to need to get somebody know how to go and just pull it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you moved them up from that video. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool because they give the back door and then just lay the seat down and grab you.
310.
Okay. Yeah. Highlander says, change my next profile. Say, yeah, you do that. That's all. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. And the bill also cites, the camera got confused. I hit a reflection. The screen ejected. And it went back. Must profile by wire. 18 was person tested with wire. The pop-out doors the features of the brand cars. And yeah, they were cool, but the primary reason was stated as aerodynamics. Unanimous among the executive staff that the complex door handle idea was crazy. Yeah, I mean, they like I said, I was scared when I saw them on the Cybertruck because I had 6 of these door handles on my car that has 4 doors. They say they're more robust now, but I was happy to just not have them at all. Like my current car, no door handles. I've got these buttons. It required the incredibly complicated and engineering and solved problem that no one else thought was actually a problem. But no matter how forcefully executives objected, Musk wouldn't yield. The bill also cites a petition from Consumer Reports calling for safer door handles with more than 35,000 signatures. Consumer Reports had to postpone its review of the S in 2015 because the fancy retractable door handles refused to let them in. 2015, that would be older than my car. So yeah, like I said, they had some sucky handles back then. The micro switches could rust or just get broken, and they switched out so they don't use micro switches anymore. And writing on the wall early, Tesla had already committed to reworking the handles, as has Rivian, although that hasn't kept owners from coming up with crafty ways of beating it to the punch. Yeah, Chinese government agencies are also taking action on the tech. That's what I'm saying. It would have been easier just to copy the Chinese one and move on from there, instead of calling out people by name. Top comments. We've got. Come back. I don't see any benefit of electric door handles. Yeah, so we got snap decisions like this, like the electrician earlier in the show who is running 48 amps through a 50 amp, not really good electrician, or people banning race cars that so they have a feeling like it's not none. China didn't say none. China said it's not worth it for the percentage that they got. It was like a fraction of a percent in the real world versus in the wind tunnel. So in the wind tunnel, it happens to be a little cleaner than in the real world sometimes. And again, calling out this guy by name, forced this design over the objection of the engineers. The objection of the engineers was that the design they used was kind of weak, not that it didn't save energy. Remember, the Model S40 was looking at just over 100 and change miles of range. So every little fraction of a percent you could get it was helpful. Even though it's legal and other companies have them, you get more comical by the day. They were one of the first in the nation to do it. So, yeah. No, I think the next one's similar. Nope, this one is actually kind of switching off of the snap decisions of dum-dums. I'm not saying that we don't need safer door handles, but the way that one was phrased, it should not have been phrased that way. This ultra-fast EV charger can go online much faster than traditional installs. The Electric Fish's DC fast charger doesn't need costly grid upgrades. Despite that, it can still deliver up to 400 kilowatts. Not bad. So it's looking like they probably got a battery in there based on its size. And judging by the fact that I'm seeing a Cybertruck and a Lucid, I'm hoping that means they can do 1,000 volts for their 400 kilowatts. Because otherwise, it's a weird choice of cars. Because if it's a 400 volt system, then this one will charge extra slow, and this one isn't a good example of it either. Let's see. 400 squared can be installed as little as a few hours instead of months. Doesn't need costly grid upgrades. Secret lies inside the box. Inside the box of batteries. Let's see. Still more to do charging. 67,000 individual ports. What I'm seeing here is how does it compare with a supercharger? Because those are the only other ones that actually can be installed in a decent amount of time. Well, there's one, but they're not 400 kilowatts. They do a similar thing with the battery, big battery somewhere on the property, and then the charge heads elsewhere. And then you just slowly charge up that battery when it's cheap for you to do so. One source reckons it can speed up installations by eliminating one of the main bottlenecks of grid upgrades. For a 300 kilowatt charger to work as intended, extremely costly grid upgrades are often needed. It can take months, if not years, to complete, and super expensive. Is that the BMW and that's an Audi? It looks like an Audi with the dual cameras there.
Yeah.
All right. The stall is an all-in-one solution that doesn't need a separate power distribution cabinet. That means it's going to be loud too if it doesn't have a separate power distribution cabinet. But if you're in your car, it won't be loud enough that you can't take a quick nap. Well, if it's fast enough, you'll barely be able to go to the bathroom and get your snack before it's ready. Charges 400 kilowatt hours of energy. So also can charge the car 4 times before it needs to. Yep, get batteries. There you go. 400 kilowatt hours of batteries, and it's a charge basically 4 different cars, or two Hummers. And the total power output is rated at 400 kilowatts to 200 kilowatts per port if 2 EVs are connected at the same time. That's a little low on the per port, but it'll get you done because they don't all pull full all the time. I think the huge batteries can be intelligently charged and discharged. If you're at a low use site, you can probably also get back some money for boosting the grid a little bit. Minimum grid connection requirements are more than reasonable. Battery can be charged up when installs are free. Energy can be transferred to EVs in need of a top up. And even beyond that, you can still be charging the cabinet while an EV is charging if you have the right controllers. Assuming that you don't have a truck or a bus pull up, they're not going to drain your 400 kilowatt hours, and so you can just always be ripping it at like 80 amps or something, and then as long as it's not like one of those California sites where it's just always busy, you'll have it filled back up. 55 amps, that's it? Oh, at least 55 amps, okay. The can power split phase 120 or 240 volt connection. There's also 3-phase 208 volt option that needs 83 amps, while the top spec model can do 3-phase 480 volts and 115 amps. Wow. That's reasonable. The 100 amp breaker for my system was like cheaper than you would expect. Highlander says, when you make it so smoke channel comes up more prominently, I can see it. but I want to go to the stuff. I would love Smoke because he keeps it real. What I'm going to try to do at the end of this live stream, I have been doing it on Tesla Live Show, is after YouTube gets done processing it, I do a collaboration. And what that does is when you hit subscribe, it actually subscribes to all of us. And so you see one with me and Brian earlier in the year, or not this year, but late last year. And I'm going to try to do that here if it lets me. But you'll notice that last week's Tesla Live Show didn't have it on there because YouTube did something weird where it wasn't working on the live streams, but still working on the pre-recordeds. But let's see what we can do to make that bigger. We're as big as we can get while still showing the thing on screen. Got rid of the words. That made them small. I think that's as big as the text gets. Go ahead and put your channel in the chat there, Marcus.
On my channel, okay.
Oh yeah. And then let me go over here in case it blocks the link.
Oh, the whole channel, or what we talking, my YouTube channel?
Yeah, YouTube channel. Electric Fist says the integrated DC fast charger is best suited for conventional gas stations, commercial centers, and fleet operators. But the 400 square can also be quickly deployed in emergencies where authorities may need. Like that. Florida has a really nice setup for their emergency evacuations. You can just crane in a couple of EV chargers. And I don't know if you can see the purple pill, but I can copy it into there for you. Because he's in on the YouTube side of it. But you got an X account, right, Marcus?
I do. Yes. It's in
Yeah.
every platform is at EVsmokeATX on everything. You search, they're gonna pull up everything. I won't let me chat. Let's see. I'm doing something wrong. It says I don't have the ability to do in the chat.
I meant on the YouTube side, on the video stream at YouTube.
Oh, okay. On the
I don't know why they don't do it on this side. Like, very easy. You've already logged in. They know who you are, but it's just not something they've done. But I've got some software solutions I'm coming up with over the year on that. It depends on if they try to raise my rate again. It's easy enough just to log in, but if they raise the rate to what they were talking about, then also worth my time to use that other system. All about the Linux, baby. Interesting solution worth noting, it's not the only one out there that promises similar benefits. XCharge is working on a 44-stall EV charging hub in Brooklyn that uses battery-powered grid-linked chargers. And Seattle's Electric Era also builds battery-powered DC fast chargers that are used by companies like Costco. But that's the important thing is choices. Because if they were the only ones to do this, then they'd run away with the charges. Which, and I don't mean the electric car charges, I mean the money in your wallet charges, which is, come on now. Don't be greedy. Come on, Milton, share the cake. This is fine for a remote location where there'll be plenty of time between cars to replenish. Doesn't have to be remote, it just has to not overwhelm the grid connection. Like if they charge 12 cars a day per stall, no big deal. I don't know the actual numbers, but something like that. We could run the math. We use a charger like this on the road between Montreal and Toronto. Haven't seen it before. Plugged in, saw battery status at 55% on the display. Didn't think much of it. After plugging in, the rate was around the car max. So cool. Until it went below 10% on the dispenser and dropped the charge rate to under 10 kilowatts. Fortunately, we had charged enough to reach the destination with a requisite safety margin, so we could unplug. It was frustrating to see it taper off before the set charge max. And that was right there what I'm saying is if you dialed it in wrong, but he said in the wintertime, I'm wondering if it was just too cold and they didn't spec the winter model, and so it was just not charging the batteries, so it didn't destroy them. That happens too. Or especially if you did it at nighttime in the winter time. Yeah, that could be too cold. So what you want to do, if you have the option to buy these for your business and you want to attract customers and it gets cold where you are, get the winter kit or have somebody build you a box with a heater in it. Maybe a portable box so you can take it down in the summertime. As it was, there was a second dispenser that had a full battery, which should have been a prompt to choose it, live and learn. It would have been helpful if a better route planner had that as an identifier as they routed us to the charger in question. I think I canceled my Better Route Planner subscription just because Tesla got so good at their route planning. Not that they were ever bad, but it was nice at the beginning before Rivian bought them. Not that Rivian didn't make it worse. It's just that Tesla got that much better at running superchargers. That by the time Rivian bought a Better Route Planner, it was not at all necessary for me, and so it was like what, $40 a year for something I used every other year. So cancel that. If it can even ready charge at 50 kilowatts, there's a lot more vehicles per day it can handle charging at 10 kilowatts. Okay. Yeah, so these people all get it, most of them. And then the last article I pulled up was about Ford, because that's what we were actually looking for, was looking about the Ford F-150 Lightning that Timothy had asked us about. And this isn't necessarily about the Lightning, this is what they said was after the one that they're replacing it with. So last I heard, F-150 Lightning is getting replaced with an extended range gasser. And then they also want to do a $30,000 EV truck platform and have eyes-off driving in 2028. So in just 2 years. 2 weeks. Judging from what I last saw of Blue Cruise, they have a solid foundation, but not something that I would expect could be there in 2 years unless they're going to change horses. And they could still do it. I mean, they were the first with NACS, so they could just put FSD unsupervised in there, and that would happen. I expect that will happen within 2 years.
You think?
To be able to just sit there and surf your phone or not necessarily pay attention to the road.
Yeah.
With the V4 anyway, not with what I've got. mine can't think that fast. Not to be outdone, at CES, Ford announced its big tech in-car AI assistance, unified vehicle brain, and eyes-free driving soon. I'm not sure what unified vehicle brain is. AI assistance, you can do that over a cell phone connection and a web link.